2024. First of all, my apologies for not getting any videos out recently. I've been working very diligently on piece together a course that I've had in the back of my mind for a couple of years, and I'm drawing pretty close to it. I'll just show you what I have thus far. Currently it's in, I suppose you could call it a development environment, but the course looks a little bit like this. So if we have a look at the course overview, we have all of the details of the stuff that I've been talking about for the past 10, 12 years, I suppose, and it's all kind of jotted down in this very well structured course. And here we talk about directional bias, expansion and contraction. So when prices are moving beyond established market frameworks and what this means, we have inefficiencies, we have supply and demand, and all of these other pieces here that are super important. If we just have a look in this section here, so the overview for this section is we have these different sections, and I kind of dig into each of them one at a time. I talk about what's time-based liquidity relative to price-based liquidity, and I go into a lot of detail and explain all of this, and then I go through supply and demand zones, what they are, what it means when they're established, what's liquidity, all of this stuff. Then I also talk about buy and sell zones, which is also a very big part of our trading. And we have historical highs and lows. We have the yearly, monthly, and if any of you have been with us for any extended period of time, maybe in the old days you actually used the Price Action Pro, which was a tool that marked all of these levels off on our charts, and you can see how incredible they are. Here we had a high. This high here, this green line, is from the previous week, which is projected onto the current week. And we do that for months, weeks, and days. And all of this stuff plays a very key role in how prices move. And then for each section, I've created a conclusion where I kind of summarize what we spoke about. We've got buy and sell zones here. The overview looks like this. These are the different sections, and I kind of go into each of them one by one. First of all, what is a supply and demand? A buy and sell zone. The slingshot, I've spoken about slingshots many times. What does that mean? So I delve into the details of that, and then of course I have a conclusion here. And then we also go into risk management, where I talk about all of these different things that I think are really important. We have information about position sizing, stop losses, and all sorts. And then we go into the framework. And so this is where we piece all of this stuff together into actionable strategies. And so the names of the strategies, I don't have any fancy names like some people, but I do have stuff like this. And essentially, the strategy is built up on several different pieces, and each piece can be kind of slotted in, and so you can pretty much build your own strategy based on the material that we discuss in this section here. I talk a little bit about the time frames, and I provide some ideas about how to find a higher time frame and an entry time frame. Then we talk about the strategies in detail, and then we have the conclusion here. And then I have like a nice section here, which I'm also working on, where I go through each of these one by one. And you can see we just kind of revisit a lot of the stuff just to drive the points home. So it's a pretty extensive bit of kit, and I was actually stupid enough to build this on a website that is not Pipnotic, so that I could sit and build it, and so now I have to find out how to move it to Pipnotic. So I'm working on that, and I'll probably have to make some changes to the courses on Pipnotic website in order for this to happen. But I think this will be a cornerstone offering on the Pipnotic website. It'll be one of the main courses, and this is something that is constantly evolving. I mean, this has existed for for well over a year, and I've been adding to it for a really, really long time. And each time I have like a new aha experience, then I add it to this. And so this has actually been something that I've been building on for a really long time. Yeah. And so it's pretty cool because it's constantly evolving and it's constantly changing. So each time I have a theory and I have the ability to test it, once it's been tested and validated as being relevant and useful, then I add it to this course. But I'm still working on this beast, and I hope to have this done soon. And when it's done, I'll let you guys know. But for the time being, it's still being developed. I'm really close now. I just wanted to show you a little bit about what I've created thus far, and it's going to be called Smart Money Playbook: Mastering Supply and Demand. And I think after going through this course completely, maybe a couple of times, I think you'll be really, really aligned with the supply and demand trading in a way that you simply won't find anywhere else. This is probably the most comprehensive supply and demand course available because it's been built on for such a long time. So this is pretty exciting, and I'm actually quite happy to finally have this kind of all in one place. So that'll be super, super cool. Okay, now let's go to the charts here. I just want to show a little bit about some of the stuff that I'm working on. This is all outlined in the course. I just want to show you, how I'm going about my trading, and I like to look at. Okay, just had an alert go off, so I had to pause there, but we can just talk about the alert that just went off. So what I wanted to do is, I'm looking at Euro, Australian dollar. I haven't posted it yet because it hasn't been confirmed just yet. But what I'm looking for is a price swing. Okay, and so in the course, you'll notice that I have these time frames that I've outlined. And if I go back to the course, if we go. Sorry, it's here. It's in the framework time frames here. And so I have these time frames that I pair. And so if you're trading off the monthly chart, this is your higher time frame, and this is going to be your entry time frame, the daily. And so I have many of these that are interesting already set up on my trading terminal. So if I go back here, you can see this is my weekly. I'm not using the monthly chart because it's a little bit massive, a bit slow, but the weekly, this is the higher time frame, and this is my entry time frame. Then this is the next one down is the daily, which is my higher time frame, and the 1 hour is the entry time frame. So if we go back to this, see the weekly is the higher time frame, the 4 hours the entry. The daily is the higher time frame, one frequency lower, and the 1 hour is the entry time frame. Then I have the 4 hour and the 15 minute. So if I go back to my terminal, I have the 4 hour and the 15 minute. And so this enables me to have 1, 2, 3, 4 different frequencies set up on the same charts. And I don't always show this because it's super cluttered, but what I want to do here is I want to be able to see a lot of information. So I just drag this instrument over on this chart here, and it updates everything. Then I can make assessments based on that. But right now, currently, I was looking at the 4 hour chart, and something that's interesting and important here is we had a high here. It's been traded above, and here's the move from here to here. And so now, once this happens, I wanted to identify an area of demand, which we have here, and a corresponding buy zone, which is here. And I set an alarm at the buy zone, which is right here, you can see, just here. So now what I want to see is I want to see prices, let's just go up here, and I want to see prices to turn around. And I don't just buy now because I think they're going to turn around because we're in the buy zone, because that's not yet happened. So on the 4 hour chart, because we visited the buy zone on my higher time frame, then I'd go to the 15-minute chart and I would wait for it to tell me that it's going to stop. Okay, so if I'll just remove that. Actually, I'll leave it on there because I need to know where the edge of my buy zone is. Edge of the buy zone is just here where price is currently sitting. What I want it to do is I want to see it move into this zone, it might go to this area of demand. This is roughly where that 4-hour area of demand begins, and I want it to tell me that it's going to stop. You can see it's kind of testing that area. What we're doing now is we're consuming the liquidity in this little zone. Okay, so here we have demand. This is a slingshot that was pulled back. This is pointing to the edge of this pool of liquidity for this area of demand. And the fact that the buy zone is right on the edge of this 15-minute zone, I mean, that's telling me that prices are probably going to go into that a little bit, because we already had the first test here, hence the first pancake has been removed. Okay, so price needs to find its footing, and it'll do that eventually. So what it's going to do, probably it's going to go down here, it's going to do something like that, and it's going to form eventually a low. And when it's done that, then it's probably going to start to turn around. Use a different tool. It's going to start to turn around like this. Maybe visit the low, so we have kind of time-based liquidity on this time frame. And then I want to get in when prices start to show me that they are indeed going to respect this area. And we don't see that respect just yet. We want to see things slow down just a little bit. And so what I want to see is I want to see like a swing point form down here. So I mean, that would look like this. Let's say here we have one candle just here which is forming. We have another one. It kind of goes up and then it goes down, and then we manage to do that. When that happens, we form this low. Okay, that is telling us that we're likely going to go high, and then it's time to get in somewhere in here, and we'll probably see prices form an area of demand like so. Prices will go up, we'll go like that, and then we'll move up. So now we've defined the buy zone. So my entry would probably be here. What I might even do is I might even get in at market, or put a buy limit just around here with my stop just down here, and target the highs here. And the whole reason, the whole premise for doing this is this: we are strong enough to move prices beyond these highs here. We're sitting in weekly demand, you can see here, and so there's a very high likelihood that prices are going to wriggle north just for a little bit. We don't want to be in this trade forever. We just want to be in it long enough to be able to revisit some of these highs that have been established. Okay, so let's have a look at, we'll just go through a couple of different examples here. And so here we have the same thing, where we have prices that have traded beyond this high here. Here's the origin of the move. So this is telling us that we have strength. We also have daily demand, which is being tested. You can see here, which is beautiful. We put an alarm at the buy zone for this area of 30-minute demand, which traded above these highs here. This is a really nice area. Okay, so what is a buy zone? A buy zone is just telling us where we will likely see buyers begin to step into the market and accumulate long positions. Okay, so this is probably that price. I don't want to buy now. That's a really bad price. It's a premium price. But you can see here that, I mean, we visited these highs and now we're starting to break lower. So I would expect prices to move down to roughly here where we have the alarm. Okay, and eventually down here, depending on what happens. But I want to see prices to come down to here. Then I go to this time frame, and this is where I watch prices start to form a bottom, break away, and then buy at demand here, or the buy zone that is established in anticipation of prices visiting these highs just here. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for every day. So every single trade that I post in the room is based on this. So I'm just going through one by one. That was the euro pound. Here we have the American dollar, Swiss franc, and for this one here, I have this. Actually, that's not there. We have the buy zone is just there. So this is a little bit of a longer one. We don't really have anything here. We have demand, prices moved higher, but this is on the daily, which is slightly longer term. Okay, so here we had prices trade above these highs here from here. Okay, so I want prices to revisit the buy zone right there, and when they do that, I go to the smaller time frame, which is going to be the 1 hour. And now let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. There's the alarm. The alarm is right there, and I just want prices to feed into this zone here. Oops, wrong thing. Into here. Here we have the buy zone right there. Here we have the demand. We have another one below. I want prices to do this. When they do that, we're going to establish demand. Why demand? Because we're able to trade above these highs. Price will come back to the buy zone and rebalance the price and efficiency established here, essentially targeting the highs just up here. Okay, so this is what we're doing. It's not rocket science. Really try and keep it simple. It's not complicated, but it just requires that you have a few steps that you can follow. If we go to the pound, American dollar, we'll do one more quickly. And so here we have, prices are looking very, very negative. We have on this time frame marked off a high, which is roughly where this is, right there. Move it up a tiny bit more. Okay, so here we would go to this time frame, and we would wait for prices to visit that, which is going to happen around, once price reaches these highs here, this area, and then we want prices to do the same thing. We move up, we move deeper into, we move below, we take out some demand here with this supply, we form a sell zone, and this is where we sell in anticipation of lower prices, targeting this low down here, or this low from yesterday. Okay, so step by step, easy peasy. And here in the course, once I manage to get that done, the strategies, it'll walk you through one by one. First, we have the directional bias. This is what we saw. Here we have the directional bias. And the directional bias is just based on taking out previous highs or lows. If we're taking out highs, we're going high. If we're taking out lows, we're going lower. Okay, and then you move to the next one. And then we look for price-based liquidity or time-based liquidity. Okay, this we discuss in great detail. And I want to see that. I want to see prices visiting these zones. They're going to be either entry time frame or higher time frame. Okay, this one here, you can see prices are going down, and on the higher time frame, this is going to be price-based liquidity, because this is a sell zone in this 4-hour move lower. So once price visits that on the entry time frame, we'll be executing trades using the buy and sell zones. Okay, and so here, buy and sell zones, supply and demand. Once price gets to this zone here, we're going to look for patterns to emerge and capitalize on those. So super simple, super exciting. I hope you guys have been following along in some of the trades we've been doing. We've had a tremendous streak of beautiful trades over the course of the past several months, so I encourage you to look at those. Even if you're not trading them, I encourage you to look at them or take them on demo accounts, if not on live accounts. Of course, if you do decide to trade live, it's at your own discretion. They are not signals by any means. They are just me logging my trades for my reference in the future. But you can certainly look at them and use them for inspiration, and I encourage you to do so. So take a look at those, and if you have any questions about those, please let me know. And in the meantime, I'm going to get this course done, and I will, of course, update you all once it's ready and available. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that, 20 minutes. Thanks all for watching.